Want to use this SUMIF function to add up ticked checkboxes? Today I'll show you how to do it with a single formula, just like this. Plus, I'll reveal a hack so you'll never have to add checkboxes one by one for hours again. You'll just drag one formula and voila! Let's say you have a document like this one showing the number of packages sent from each Amazon warehouse, and Jeff Bezos asks you to tell him the total number of packages sent, but only from specific warehouses he'll mark with a checkbox. It sounds like an easy task with a SUMIF, but before you start with your formula, there's a hitch. How are you going to add the checkboxes? Unfortunately, Excel doesn't have a command to insert multiple checkboxes at once, so we'll need to use a workaround. The UNICHAR function. Select the cell where you want your checkbox. Open your UNICHAR function and type 254 in parentheses. Hit enter and you'll see this character added. Character number 254. And how is this useful, you might ask? Don't ask me why it works this way, but if you change the font to Wingdings, boom! You have a checkbox. Odd, but sometimes the Excel gods smile upon you. But don't celebrate just yet, because if you click on the checkbox, nothing happens. Why? Because that checkbox is just a character. So far, it has no functionality. Let's fix that. The first thing you need to know is that, just as there's a character for a ticked checkbox, there's one for an unticked one. Open another UNICHAR function, but this time the character number is 168. Change the font to Wingdings, and boom! There's your checkbox. Now, to add functionality and make it so that when you double-click, it changes between ticked and unticked, we'll need a bit of code. Nothing too hard, I promise. You don't need to be a programmer to do this. Plus, I'll leave the file with the code in the comments for you to copy and paste when you need it. Once you have the code, just right-click your tab and select View Code. This Visual Basic window will open. Go ahead and paste our code directly into the window. By pasting the code, the necessary adjustments for worksheet level and before double-click event are automatically applied. This code basically says on this worksheet, when someone double-clicks the target object, which is the range of cells with the checkboxes, execute the following instructions. If the character in a cell we double-click is 254, change it to 168, and vice versa. If the character is 168, change it to 254. And that's all. Not too complicated, right? Now, if you close the window and double-click the checkbox, magic. The last thing to do is your SUMIF formula. Open the function. The data range to filter is your column with the checkboxes. The criteria for filtering is that the checkboxes are ticked, right? So, you can simply write UNICHAR 254. Finally, the range to sum. You want the total packages sent, so select that column. Close your formula and there you have it. The total from the warehouses with the ticked checkbox, ready to send to Jeff. Now, what if he later asks for the total units but only from warehouses containing prime in their name? By default, the SUMIF function can't perform sums where the condition is a part of the text. For that, you need to combine it with wildcards, but that's something you can learn in the next video. See you there!